Hello everybody. Welcome to Tpull's Corner. We're doing a quick run tonight with a deck I call Mono Black Magic. There's a YouTuber named Mono Black Magic. It's kind of cool. I just named it that because we're using Mono Black. And I decided to go ahead and use some good cards. I don't know if it's like S tier or anything like that. We're not in ranked right now. But it's been a while since I did Mono Black, so I just wanted to show you where my brain process is at. I don't have 4 Sheoldreds like everybody else. I have just one Sheoldred the Apocalypse. So that's all we go with. Tiny bit of discard that usually shows up at the beginning. And you throw away an ossification. They don't have a basic land right now anyway. And I think we just go ahead and do this. And that's all that we need to do. I didn't even show them my Sheoldred yet. Alright, well, let's go in and show off Mono Black Magic. For all the new people, remember to like and subscribe. My name is Travis. We put out something pretty much every day. Okay, so we start with Dreams of Steel and Oil. We can exile things from the graveyard if they already have it. I don't usually save it. If I get it on the first turn, I'll play it. This is pretty much the only other type of discard. We have one Virus Beetle. We also have Knight of Dust Shadow, so our opponents can't gain life. And we can pump it up for 2 mana, get +1/+1 till end of turn. And it has Menace already. 4 removals for Sheoldred's Edict. This is really a nice utility card. I'm kind of surprised it's 2 mana, and you can choose 3 different things. It's good to get rid of Planeswalkers as well. And it's an instant. I would have thought maybe a sorcery, but yeah, it's just too good a card. I have 4 I use 4. Tenacious Underdog. I think I still only have 1 copy of this. So it's a nice 3/2 for 2 down, and then you can blitz it in, and you have to pay 2 life to bring it back and 4 mana, but you can keep on bringing it in for the blitz cost, and when it dies at the end of turn, you get to draw a card, so a little bit of card draw. 1 copy of Braid's Frightful Return. Sacrifice a creature, so we do have 1 more option to make them discard. I'm usually looking at Chapter 2 or 3. 1 Defenestrate. Destroy target creature without flying. 4 Gravelargers. Usually waiting until they have a creature I don't like. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card if a creature already died this turn. Otherwise, each player sacrifices a creature. So I tend to be sacrificing things like the Virus Beetle first, or Gravelighter itself. I have 4 copies of Graveyard Trespasser because there's just a ton of stuff being thrown in the graveyard for later retrieval. So having 4 copies really ensures that at least one's going to come out early enough that I can just cut down on whatever they're throwing away, or using, or losing. 1 Morbid Opportunist. This is a good card draw if it comes out early. Whenever 1 or more creatures die, you draw a card. It only triggers once a turn. 2 Shakedown Heavies. Another way for card draw, because the defending player can have you draw a card when it attacks. If they have you draw a card, then Shakedown Heavies is removed from combat. You get to untap it, so it's ready for defense as well. But most players do not want to get hit in the face for 6 points, so they'll let me have the card draw. 1 copy of Vraska's Fall. We actually have them sacrifice a creature or planeswalker, and they get a poison counter. But poison counter is just kind of incidental. Bloodline Culling. Creature tokens get -2/-2 in case there's a bunch of tokens, or if there's only 1 creature, -5/-5. Hero's Downfall. Again, in case we come across planeswalkers. Target, we can do planeswalkers or creatures, and notice I can do that with Sheoldred's Edict and Gravelighter, so I'm keeping in mind the idea that we might run across the Super Friends. 2 copies of Liliana of the Veil, so the rest of my discard strategy right there. We're usually using it for the -2 to make them sacrifice a creature. 1 copy of Nashi, Moonsage's Scion. We can bring it in with the ninjutsu power, but we need to have 4, so we need to have more than just the 3 we bring it down with. Whenever the Scion deals combat damage to a player, I get to exile the top card of each player's library. I can play 1 of those cards until the end of the turn. And if I cast a spell, it costs me life points instead of mana cost. For the 4 drops, Blood Vial Purveyor, 5/6 flyer with trample. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, the player gets a blood token, and then when I attack with my Blood Vial Purveyor, it gets +1 for every blood token the defending player controls. I think that card's overpowered, so I put it in. Deadly Derision, destroy target creature planeswalker, and gives me a treasure token. Extinguish the Light, destroy target creature planeswalker. If its mana value is 3 or less, you gain 3 life. Invasion of Innistrad. Target creature gets -13/-13, and we can cast the enchantment Deluge of the Dead if we knock out the battle points later. Sheoldred the Apocalypse, 1 copy as always, and 1 copy of Sorin the Mirthless. So I have another planeswalker here, and 1 Gix's Command that we usually use as a board wipe, and 2 Phyrexian Flesh Gorgers that sometimes the game goes on long enough I can actually pay all 7 mana to bring those down. 4 draw spits for the card draw, a couple of Takanumas to get planeswalkers back or creatures back into my hand, and 1 Field of Ruin. And that is it. And sometimes when I don't feel like I need to think too much, like I don't need to go create a brand new deck, I just know you need to go do a few rounds, get a few wins in. I enjoy this deck. I don't think there's anything too new or surprising in there. It's just the normal part of this channel since we don't burn a whole lot of our wild cards. So I don't go whole hog and go craft 4 Sheoldreds and that kind of thing for the deck. So we have stuff like Shakedown Heavy instead of other Sheoldreds. Other 4 drops instead of Sheoldreds. That kind of thing. Okay, the first enemy scooped at the site, the mere sight of a Graveyard Trespasser. I think we just bring out the Gravelighter and let everybody die. Okay, Shakedown Heavy. Yeah. Fading Hope, huh? You can delay, but there's a limit on how much you can delay. Actually, I've had people never let Sheoldred or never let Shakedown Heavy hit at all. At all. And I get all the card draw and they still beat me. Every once in a while, there's like once in a blue moon, somebody will take it. Somebody will take the damage. Let's go ahead and try Trespasser. Where we find out if they finally drawn to get into some sort of counterspell magic. Or if they're just bouncing. Maybe they're just bouncing. We'll get rid of the creature. And Graveyard Trespasser is really handy against mono blue in case they start bringing out the Haughty Djinns. Oh, it's a Mind Splice Apparatus deck instead. Okay. I don't have a way to deal with artifacts, so this could be interesting. Okay, we got the red already. Multiple colors. We'll see if they have white or black in here too. The cool thing about Graveyard Trespasser is the ward cost is to discard a card. It's not just to pay more mana, so more mana in that sense doesn't hurt us that much. Okay, 2 damage to everybody, which isn't going to kill us in and of itself, but they get to throw away the rest of their hand because, okay, so they get that many +1. What they had wasn't going to be sufficient to deal with me, which is not a bad card for with the Mind Splice Apparatus now, only 2. Okay, so they're going to be bouncing a lot. I feel like we go ahead and just get rid of that now. We will go ahead and amuse them by bringing down something they already know we have. And again, we'll get rid of the creature. That gives us another life point. We can't get too cocky with the Mind Splice apparatus. I have made at least 4 decks of that by now in the series. I'm going to get back to it real soon, as a matter of fact, and do a Dimir version of just blue and black. And you can win a lot with these kind of decks. This is one of my favorite cards. Okay, so you are going to discard something, just a land, just to get rid of the Trespasser. Okay. So, next, come here. Not that one, this one. And they go digging, I guess, because they still don't like what they have. Here we go. They could get us with the board wipe. If they get 2 red mana down, they could easily have a burn down the house. They're looking at the Flesh Gorger like they know they got to get rid of that now. They can keep postponing the heavy. Okay, so you're going to pay the 3 for that. And proliferate, so they add 1 counter onto the Mind Splice apparatus. Nice use of proliferate cards to help out. And let's try this. No. Shall we? Well, I've got a lot of removal, but it looks like this is a creatureless deck for the most part. How many more of the... Do they have 4 of these things, I wonder? Do they have 3 more of each of those? Okay, but this is a good card to do. That's a good card to play. Just a land. Well, we're pretty set, actually. We can call back creatures if we need to, so I'm just sort of keeping that in reserve. And if they did have any kind of life gain, right now they can't use it. 2, 4, 6. That would be 7. Maybe I can hold on to that and still use it later. They don't have any dual lands, but they got 2 mountains now in case they get a board wipe out. Just 1 point of damage. That's 11 more turns I need to deal them damage if I just get through the Virus Beetle. And most people like having 2 Mind Splice apparatus out, but that might not be good for them at this particular moment in time. Because I can use some mana to pump up my knight. Okay, I was looking for land. I guess I just have to play that. I could have attacked first and seen if I drew an extra land. Yeah, see, so I kind of messed up on that. Alright, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'll need to discard something. Yep, I messed up on that. Didn't pump up my knight yet either. But we don't need to because the deck wasn't working out for them. And they threw away their hand and drew a whole new hand. Well, not a whole new hand, but half of a new hand. I'm kind of sad about that. I like that Mind Splice apparatus strategy. I use it. I win more often than lose with it. And virtually all of the decks that I've created I like with it. I haven't made a deck yet that I don't like. Okay. I can cast everything by turn 3. That should be okay. Going up against a lot of mono blue lately. If this is green-white Selesnya, they can scale you. They can outscale you pretty fast. So let's see. Let's bring down the Morbid Opportunist first. This is an awesome card to have at the very beginning, especially if they don't remove it right away. Because they're mostly character heavy, and that means we're going to have lots of extra card draw. Oh, see, they do have something ready for it. It's terrible. Okay, and we missed a land drop already. This is usually a bad sign. You got rid of my card draw advantage, and I'm missing land drops against somebody who's, oh hello, likes to go out wide. I'm not blocking you. Come on through. Have fun with that. We will get rid of you. That's why it would have been nice to still have the Morbid Opportunist out, but we'll go get some of our life back and take away some of theirs. I really just need one more land to start kicking things into high gear. But we've got the ability to dodge a little bit. Ooh, they're going to pay the cost for that? Okay. Okay, that's not quite what I wanted, but we'll take it. They are ramping. And does this mean I have to worry about stupid Atraxa? Is that what they're building up to? Mostly white and green, and they've got some red. Okay. How much removal do you have? You don't have enough planes right now, right? You can't do another ossification on that one. Oh no, they can't, because it doesn't have to be planes. I'm thinking of the removal of the exile card. They're digging! We got them! We got them good! Oh, we got them so good! We can read ahead on this, right? Return target creature card from graveyard to hand. I think we wait. If they've got any kind of creatures, we've got them covered. We've got like 4 different ways to get rid of a creature at this point. That's going to be like 2 creatures though? Let's get rid of you now. I'm assuming they're going to go for the token. 9/9 against number of lands. And we get rid of that one now too. All on the opponent's turn. That feels good. It really does. That does not feel good. Seal away. And that's the opponent sacrifices. I was wondering, like, maybe I could bring it back from my graveyard. But everything that I have is geared against my opponent. It's not selective enough for me to kill my own creature. Oh, gross.
This is our enemy?
We make it sacrifice the Planeswalker first before the creature comes out.
I brought backup.
And then we get rid of the Double Striker. they've got enough way of exiling all of our creatures that they've kind of caught up to us, and they've passed us in land. So if they have some good spells, we're going to start playing catch-up here real soon. Another planeswalker? Yeah.
I won't let a few thugs threaten this city.
I expect them to...
Be
oh, they're going to
brave.
plus. I did not expect that.
No cost is too great to quill my people. You will serve me well.
Yeah.
I've made plenty of connections.
Oh, no!
Know
That was
that
luck.
I will not abandon my quest.
I can't make this mistake again.
I need a creature that goes into the graveyard, not one that gets exiled all the time. Does that have flash? That does have flash. So if I do, I can afford to draw one. Okay. That's kind of a cool card. And they get the exile. They are just top decking. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? You're going to plus, right? I'm going to draw another card.
I know there's a hero inside you.
Is all they have is exile? All they have is exile. If they keep top decking that way, the Planeswalker's going to get away from me.
This is your fight. Win it.
Oh, serious. And now, after I just tried to thin my lands out, bringing back those does not help. I'm stuck.
Let's do this together.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about the Raven Man.
Show him what you got.
I gotta get a creature out real quick, and it's not showing up. And I'm not equipped to deal with Planeswalkers. I am, but the cards aren't showing up.
End of evolution. Welcome, my companion.
Let's just do chapter 1. Don't have a creature, but we can make them discard.
Drop it.
And we can go draw something else yet again. That's a discard, which is showing up way too late.
our strength multiplies.
Be brave.
Okay, those will die. This puppy comes down. We get rid of... don't know if anything really matters there. And we can go make them get rid of something else that is exiled. And we can make them discard nothing. And now she's got the
You won't be
ultimate.
outsmarting me.
She can get the angels. I don't think that Touch of the Spirit works. You didn't keep a card in your hand for the ward cost against Graveyard Trespasser. Not that it matters if they're willing. They can do the ultimate and they can get another creature out with Nissa at the same time.
Well, these streets are
And they're
rough.
willing to do it.
Never forget that angels built this city.
Fight beside us.
Okay. We will play that. They're going to lose one thing. Just a 3/3 flyer. We'll put down this puppy here. And we will make them sacrifice a creature, which will be another 3/3.
I've always hated crowds.
And now they're kind of on guard duty, aren't they? Oh, I can exile a creature card. Oh, it works. Never mind, we're good. Whew, that was close. I was getting worried. It's already summertime. You don't need to make me sweat, Arena. Now, see, I would have clicked the happy smile on that one. That was a nice, exciting match for me. They keep giving me the survey sometimes when I get 2 lands and nothing more, or I get like 4 drawn lands in a row. And then, did you enjoy the match? No. I remember when certain cards first came out, like when Sheoldred first came out, it was immediately popular and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how much this configuration is a whole lot different from things that you might have seen on other YouTube channels, but like several months ago, because a lot of people just like to go craft the Mythic Rares right away and just put out these nice shiny decks. Morbid Opportunist is first again. He does get out on the field at least. And Portal to Phyrexia already, so I need my Graveyard Trespasser, don't I? What do we do here? Do we trot out Sheoldred? I guess. Ooh. They're digging for an answer to Sheoldred? That cost them 6 life right there. But they now have 10 cards, 8 life, 10 cards. Do they have an answer? Like a Fading Hope at least? If it was a Haughty Djinn deck, they'd have a Fading Hope. Oh, hello. They just discarded 2 lands. They don't have what they need? Are they trying to sucker me in? It's working. I only have 1 Sheoldred in the entire deck, and I got an on-curve Sheoldred. Life is good. This may be why Sheoldred is so popular. I mean, imagine if you had 4 copies, how many times would you get an on-curve Sheoldred? And I'm getting it a lot with only 1 copy. There comes part of our issue.
I've learned much during my travels. Let me show you.
Gives him up to 7 life.
This is what you get for hurting my people.
You can sacrifice the Planeswalker. And I get all 7 points because you have a blood token, so that's lethal. That was a little too fast. I didn't even get to use that many spells. I can only imagine sometimes the frustration that opponents feel if they feel the same way as me in terms of coming across Sheoldred again and again and again, and then I come along and they have no way of knowing I've only got 1 copy, and then I get it out and you can just tell they're like, oh, Sheoldred again. When will people stop like, why didn't they ban that card? When will people get rid of that card? And I seem to be getting better at getting rid of it when I encounter it. My problem is when I encounter the occasional decks that have like Mythic Rare after Mythic Rare after Mythic Rare, I can take out like 3 of them, and then they'll just put down a 4th, and it's like, okay, I'm kind of out of answers. And that's when the conspiracies pop up and you start thinking everybody's plotting against you. But we've got a good run today, don't we? So if you left mono black for a while, consider coming back. Look at what we can do just with the cards that are still around. We don't need Reckoner Bankbuster. I hardly ever use that card, actually. Mostly I only used 1 copy, even though I had 4. Two colors already. Aw, they got the discard before I got to my discard. The question is, how afraid are they? Yes, they're afraid for me to see their hand. So they got rid of my discard spell. And their deck is pretty fast with 1 mana drops. We will bring down what we can. I really need to not to miss land drop, though. When you've got a deck that is mostly red and designed to be fast, when they get down more land than you do, it's time to be scared. Two with Convoke, and I missed a land drop. Lovely. Okay, let's go ahead and make them sacrifice 1 creature, because that's the only other thing I can do right now. And they've got lifelink. I think I just wait. They might have removal, but my hands are kind of tied. We won a few matches in a row, and now we're missing land drops. This is my life on Arena. It's what happens. They should draw the card and lose a life right away. There you go. Maybe they'll sacrifice it to get rid of the underdog? No, they're just going to do a trade. No, they're not going to do a trade. Okay. I will take that trade. There we go. Okay, next. Lose 1. I don't care which one. They keep the Markov Baron because they're Vampire Tribal? They want the life gain. Okay. We want you to sacrifice your creature.
No more distractions. Let's make this quick.
That's what she said.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
5. Okay, it's time for the Graveyard Trespasser. And let's get rid of Enrica. She's a flyer. She's a flyer with built-in removal. Do I get rid of... Most people would be doing discard right now. I'm not going to. If they've got a burn spell, it doesn't matter if she's at 1, 2, or 3. They'll probably use it on her regardless. So I've got time there. Oh, maybe I don't have time. Wow. When is the last time I saw someone play Olivia? It's been a minute. But it comes tapped and attacking, so they're going to lose it. But they'll still get life gain off of it. So they get rid of my Planeswalker. I'm going to have to leave myself
I'll
undefended.
take my zombies and leave.
Okay, so I think we go to Chapter 2. We return somebody. Wish I'd gotten a land, but we're going to get the Gravelighter. And we're going to attack, and we're going to exile you. So no more life gain. And we're going to drain their graveyard of fodder. They can still get a 1/1 back. See what else they got. I was afraid of that. We've got more creatures at the moment. They've got a lot of creatures at the moment, so... Well, they knew I brought back Gravelighter, so I can't really get rid of Olivia that way. Wait for them to make their choice. They let me draw the card. Okay, so what do I do here? I think I don't have long for this world, but I've got to stop them from being able to get somebody else out of there. And bringing down Gravelighter doesn't really help that much. They're just going to take the damage. 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I wait one more turn for the Flesh Gorger if I get a land? Let's try it. If they get land, they've got a lot of blood tokens to just... Oh, they play the land. I would have expected them to throw away the land and filter it out to go get a good response. What are you up to? I feel like they're going to get rid of my knight. But if it's just damage, I can pump it up twice. Dominate. Oh no. And now they pump it up with the mana they have. Five, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Okay, so I'm nearly dead. And that was not land. So, what is left? I mean, I can bring this down for life gain. Can bring down the Gravelighter to block Olivia for the 3 points. And I can't pump up the knight, so just get rid of the knight. They have to sacrifice 1 creature. They'll get rid of a 1/1. Look at what we're looking at here. So block, trade, life gain. I can stay alive one more turn if they don't get something good on me. Never mind, they just got something good on me. Just everything they needed. That was a top deck. I call conspiracy. Yeah, that was still kind of close. Usually you see them using Olivia when they have much bigger creatures. Here, this was an interesting strategy, actually. They used Olivia just to bring back a bunch of 1/1s, and it worked. It gave them cover because the type of removal that I had, the opponent gets to choose what they sacrifice. So, I mean, I do have other ways, but those weren't the ones that were popping up right then. I needed something much more targeted. So we'll leave it there. Let's go in and show you the deck one more time. It was an uphill battle when I started missing land drops. Where are you? All right, see, almost anything would have been blocker right about then, or Deadly Derision or Extinguish the Light. Either we would have been able to get rid of the flyer. Invasion of Innistrad gets rid of the flyer. Gix's Command does a nice little board wipe. We would have gotten rid of the flyer. So literally, I mean, Bloodline Culling would have let us do 5/5. Hero's Downfall is targeted. So out of all the cards that we went through, we got everything except I had 7 different answers for Olivia, and just none of them would pop up. So I don't know what to do about that. That's when my conspiracy mind thinks the wizard spies that are watching my gameplay, you know, they see those cards about to come up and they just cycle them down deep into the deck, and they're like, no. He won the last 3 games. It's time for him to lose. So he's just going to lose that kind of stuff. That deck was a weenie deck. That deck did not even have Olivia in it. The Wizards put that there. It was as much a surprise to my opponent as it was to me. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, everybody. Hopefully you like the deck. Leave comments. Let me know what you would do different. Keep in mind that we do not burn wild cards a lot, so just saying pump up the number of Sheoldreds and Phyrexian Flesh Scourgers is not an acceptable answer in this particular case. But as always, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.